to be making these bullets. These bullets they weren't making, they were buying. And also, I think some of the bullets didn't work, but I'm not sure on that, but I do think that some of them did.
That was his cover in a real sense in terms of
that was his disguise. And the reason he was a part of the Nazi party was he wanted to also use that as a part of his disguise because, you know, who would think that a Nazi was trying to help the Jewish people? And so doing that, he saved thousands and thousands of lives. And basically, when the war was over and done, they were killing off people who had concentration camps for, or they were charging them for, you know, crimes against humanity. And, you know, Stalin, all those people and etc. They were killing off those people, or they were charging them with crimes against humanity. And most were killed, you know, hung, shot, etc. And so Schindler, thinking that they were going to charge him with crimes against humanity, fled the country. He fled and he lived a very, very closed life. Well, at first, when the war was over, he had no money. That was a big part. So, his wife divorced him. I think it was after the war, and so it was basically on his own. At first, he would stay in houses in New York with relatives, and the people he saved would send, you know, fruit baskets and etc. And that's what he lived off of for a time up until the fruit baskets and all that, you know, became very scarce. And so when he stopped, you know, living off of gifts and fruit baskets, he still lived with relatives. He had a very small life, and he came to New York and, you know, lived with the relatives up until his death. And now when Schindler died, something very, very beautiful happened when he died. And you see this in the last part of Schindler's List. All the people that he saved, the living ones at least, came and they put a rock or a stone on top of his grave. And so I don't know if they're there now. I doubt it. I mean, they could be. But if you go there or look up a picture, you'll see all these stones across his grave, and that's a stone for each life that he saved. And you also see in the end of the movie his wife and, you know, some of the children that he saved and things like that. And so you see all these little stones, and that's just like a real, that's what made me cry in the end, because I usually don't cry in movies, but that part really brought me to tears because these people had such a great admiration for this man because he saved their life, their mother's lives, their children's lives, and he made so many lives today possible by the goodness of his heart.
And so in a real sense, he turned out to be a hero as far as the Holocaust was concerned, and even though he might have been suspected by the Nazis army itself of running a labor camp that would eventually lead to the death of some of these inmates, what he was doing now was in a real, excuse me, saving them from death. And so for that reason, you believe that this is an important story. And as a matter of fact, I think the world believes that this is an important story and that this is one of the heroes in a real sense of the Holocaust. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that Oskar Schindler made what nowadays is probably millions of lives and what in the future will be billions of lives possible by saving only, at the time, was it 3,000 people? That went on to have so many more children, and I just think it's a beautiful thing and that he was a great, great person.
Okay, and so what we're going to do, we've got about 15 seconds before the end of this part of the program for the morning, and when we come back, we'll get into the last 10 minutes and give some speculations in reference to some of the things that you've already said in reference to that. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Okay, you ready for this last 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Now, what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with this?